My name is Greg Burnett, and I chose the Ukraine for my project. As you can see on the map there, the little red spot is the Ukraine, and it's centered right on Eastern Europe, right between Asia and Europe. All right, at over 603,000 square miles, Ukraine is the second largest country in Europe. The majority of Ukraine is fertile plains and steppes over the Carpathian Mountains to the west and Crimean Range to the south stand in contrast to this. You also see the Dnieper River running through north and south there. Ukraine's in the fifth stage of population transition model, which means that Ukraine is in declining population. It's due in part to the total fertility rate being very low and being unable to replace the death that's caused naturally or for whatever reason. And it's resulting in a loss of over 150,000 people a year. As far as ethnicity, the majority of Ukraine is ethnically Ukrainian, 77.8%. This map shows some of the distribution, concentrations of maybe some of the minorities. The sizable minority are ethnic Russians at 17%, and then Belarusians, Hungarians, Bulgarians, Moldovans. They create the rest. Now these maps show distribution of Ukrainian as first language as opposed to Russian as first language. You see in the northwest, more rural areas, that Ukrainian is usually the first language, and a little bit more to the southeast than the urban areas. It's Russian, but most Ukrainians speak Russian and Ukrainian, whatever their first language. Now here we have some graphs on religion. On the left-hand graph, it shows that 62.5% of Ukrainians don't actually associate with the church. But then you take the colored part from that graph and expand it to a separate graph, and it shows that most are Eastern Orthodox Christian, divided between mostly the Kiev Patriarch and the Moscow Patriarch. Now here we have a history timeline. Now, the Kievan Rus was the greatest state in Europe from 880 to 1132, and there's a map of it at zenith. And after that, they were conquered by Mongols, Poles, Lithuanians, Tsarist Russia. Eventually became a founding member of the Soviet Union. That collapsed in '91. They gained their independence. Here we have a map of population centered on urbanism in Ukraine. 67.2% of Ukraine's population lives in urban areas, and that's highly centered around heavy industry. Now, other cities include some of the main cities in Ukraine include Kharkiv, Dnipropetrovsk, Odessa, and Donetsk. Kiev, however, is the capital, and 2.7 million people live within the urban limits. And Kiev is the industrial and cultural center of the country. There's a map there, a satellite photo. Shows how large it is, also the cityscape. Now, Ukraine suffers from several ecological and environmental problems. The shortage of potable water being one, but the major one was that the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded in 1986. It's the worst nuclear meltdown we've ever had in this world. It spread radiation all over Europe, and this map demonstrates that.